back. He again, Kogan, Man Cave Classroom at 810. Looking at a letter from Lincoln to Horace Greeley.
It's like he's always writing.
Always.
Always writing.
I would love to see what the original looked like on this one.
Yeah.
You know, was there, I'm sure there was, you know, the White House stationery at that point in time, maybe, you know, very fancy with the
Executive Mansion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So here's the interesting thing. Horace Greeley is a newspaper editor. And, you know, at this particular point in time, he was very outspoken and very involved in the conversation on slavery.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know a little something about him, you would probably know at this point why Abraham Lincoln is writing to Mr. Greeley. And again, you know, I know you're going to be all over this. It's August 22nd, 1862.
Yeah, looking at that, you know, so we're 14 months, 15 months into the Civil War at this point.
Yep.
And important to note that a big date in American history is January 1st, 1863. Because it's on that particular date when Abraham Lincoln will issue the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves within the Confederacy itself. So where are we? What's Lincoln's thought process 4 months prior?
Yeah, we're now, 1861 it starts, you know, we're now into this war, and, you know, we'll skip to the pleasantries of the letter and get right to the heart of it. So, here's what Lincoln had to say. I would save the Union. I would save it the shortest way under the Constitution. The sooner the national authority can be restored, the nearer the Union will be. The Union as it was. If there be those who would not save the Union unless they could at the same time save slavery, I do not agree with them. If there be those who would not save the Union unless they could at the same time destroy slavery, I do not agree with them. My paramount objective in this struggle is to save the Union, and is not either to save or to destroy slavery. If I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that. What I do about slavery and the colored race, I do because I believe it helps to save the Union. And what I forbear because I do not believe it would help to save the Union. I shall do less whenever I shall believe what I am doing hurts the cause, and I shall do more whenever I shall believe doing more will help the cause. I shall try to correct errors when shown to be errors, and I shall adopt new views so fast as they shall appear to be true views. Wow, he repeats the Union quite a few times.
Yeah.
Union, of course, is the United States.
So what I'm getting from this is that Lincoln is going to do whatever he has to do
to
save the Union, to bring our country back together again and make us whole. Does that mean he will free the slaves? Only if it saves the Union.
Yeah.
Does that mean he will keep slaves? Only if it saves the Union. Does it mean he will free some and leave others alone? Only if it saves the Union.
Now, just in case you might be confused here, and let me try and pick it up, you know, again, when you're talking about any lesson or any lesson that you experience as a student or anything that you are doing in life, there is an objective, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that he points it out. He says objective.
My paramount
objective in this struggle is to save the Union.
Supreme, main.
And is not either to save or to destroy slavery. So just in case, I know, I think that was the one sentence that made it very obvious, just in case you were stuck here.
Will he free slaves?
Sure.
If it saves the Union.
Yeah.
And 4 months later, less than 4 months later, when he does issue the Emancipation Proclamation, he only frees the slaves within the Confederacy.
Now, the thing with Lincoln is that, you know, he's known as the great emancipator, the guy who helps to end slavery. And the thing is that that wasn't really his objective. I mean, of course, when you're looking at the causes of the Civil War, you know, there are quite a few causes, but the one that is blinking at you in neon lights is slavery. It was a really, really big issue to the South in terms of maintaining slavery. But when it looks here, you know, as long as you can keep them together, whatever can happen with slavery.
Now, once the Union is saved, he will turn his attention to getting the 13th Amendment, abolishing slavery passed. But even the Emancipation Proclamation, as I said, it only freed the slaves in the Confederacy, not those border states. Because if he did that, those border states probably would have seceded.
And there was like a military strategy to the Emancipation Proclamation as well.
It was a military directive.
Yep.
So
we pulled this from the Regents, from the U.S. History Regents, and even though, this can be used for quite a few things, we'll just look at one question, just to give you an idea of what test makers sometimes do. So, according to the passage, President Abraham Lincoln's primary goal in fighting the Civil War was to, okay? So let's just stop here before we even look at choices. Pretty much, when it comes to what was his primary goal in fighting? Save the Union.
Yeah.
Save the Union, save the Union. I mean, mentioned quite a few times here. So let's see what we have here. Advance the cause of the Northern abolitionists.
No, because I know that abolitionists were those that wanted to abolish slavery.
Right, and I think the test maker throws in abolitionists as well to try and trip you up.
Yep, because they were a cause of
Right.
the war.
Use any means necessary to save the Union.
That's got-
I can kind of lean towards that. I
Yeah.
think we have a winner, but let's look at contestant number 3 and 4. Extend the franchise to African Americans in the Army.
The franchise meaning right to vote.
Yep.
Again, this will come in
Sure.
the 15th Amendment,
And
but
again, probably throwing in franchise to kind of trip you up.
yep,
Free only those African Americans who were enslaved in Confederate territory. Well,
that's what he does do.
in the
January
Emancipation
1st,
Proclamation.
1863.
So they're trying to trip you
They
up
are.
here.
They're absolutely trying to
Because they
trick you
know
up.
he's, so, again, use any means necessary to save the Union.
Because if you look, African Americans, abolitionists, all three tied to that issue of slavery. And if we go back, they do mention slavery quite a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're that type of student who's just going to be like, all right, slavery,
Yeah.
slavery, oh, there's got to be slavery.
Yeah.
But no, the union is there as well.
Very clever on how they did that.
Yes.
And tactful. Good. We need anything else on this one?
You got it.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching.